My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland, College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. This is the Under Armour Banshee. It's the mid-level lacrosse cleat. What I like about it is it's got a low cleat feel, but with the protection of a mid to high cleat. I'm usually a guy who likes to protect my ankles, but I don't like to lose the mobility and feel like I'm wearing a heavy cleat. UA Banshee, untouchable, unstoppable.
Welcome to beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah for the second of 4 semifinal games. This one, the Division II matchup between Minnesota Duluth and North Dakota State. You are watching the MCLA National Championships powered by Under Armour. Chris Marshall, Ryan Powell still with you. EJ Freeman running the sidelines. You'll hear from him as well. But once again, the UMLC well represented. All 4 teams in the semifinal conference foes, North Dakota State and Minnesota Duluth. Minnesota making their way down to the Division II level from the Division I, where they had been a threat as well. But certainly looking forward to a good game here, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. This one's going to be a good one. Keep an eye on number 23, Scott McNamara for Minnesota Duluth. I've seen him play in his first 2 competitions here in Salt Lake City. He's an excellent player. He's one of those guys that can go right, he can go left, he can shoot the ball at a high level, and he's also a great feeder, pass-first guy. North Dakota State is very aggressive in their pursuit of the ball, so they're going to be swarming these guys. And Minnesota Duluth to date has not been tested here yet this week, so we'll see how they handle this up-tempo pressure from North Dakota State.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, College of Idaho was the first victim, followed by Kennesaw State, 22-8 in round 1, 16-4 in R2. So double-digit victories in both of those games. A little bit tougher coming from the other side. Central Connecticut falling at the hands of the Bison, 10-4. Montana State losing by 6 at the score of 12-6. This is a pair of teams that, like I mentioned, met during the regular season. It was a 12-9 victory for Duluth. But North Dakota State, certainly a team that's been here before, previously ranked number 1 over the course of the season. So familiar foes, both teams deserve to be here. So I'm expecting an exciting matchup for these 2 squads.
Yeah, North Dakota State is going to need to play a really good all-around game today. Minnesota Duluth is playing at a high level. Their defensive pressure and their 3 long stick defensemen are some of the best in the league. And they make it really hard on the opposing offense. So we'll keep an eye on that throughout the game. But, like I said, Minnesota Duluth is playing excellent lacrosse right now, and North Dakota State needs to step up to the challenge.
And Blake Barta going against Avery Normandin. Both these players, the primary draw specialists for both teams. And this one's going to go the way of the Bison. Both these teams, big athletic teams. See the size out there already. Grand Valley, I think of the 4 teams we've seen suit up today, had the smaller, slower players on the field. And I think that was a direct portion of how the result turned out the way it did.
Yeah, as you see in this first offensive possession, this is knowledge and understanding for North Dakota State. They're getting the defense really spread out. Minnesota Duluth loves to pressure the ball. So as an offense, in the early going. You want to spread your guys out and try to stretch that defense as much as you can. It makes it a lot harder for the guys in the middle to slide and recover.
And there's a shot right into the cross of the Duluth goalie, as once again we see Duluth coming back. And what a play to knock that one out of the air from Noah Simpson, the leading point getter on the Bison squad this season. Good man ball by Duluth.
Yeah, Noah Simpson, number 6. He got the first shot off there for North Dakota State. He's got to do a better job of changing the plane of his shots. We talked about it in the first game. We saw a couple examples of that, but this goaltender just got done getting warmed up. The last thing that you want to do as an offensive player and a shooter for North Dakota State is to hit him stick side high on the first shot. Don't let goaltenders start to get confidence inside the cage on you. So change up the plane of that shot. He's got to go high to low in that situation.
And this broadcast, like every broadcast we're going to be on here this weekend, fully interactive. Make sure to use the hashtag UMDVNDSU, and also send the tweets my way at CMarshallLSN. Love to hear from you guys at home. And it's CMarshallLSN, and you can see the hashtag up there in the top left corner.
Let's get some good tweets coming in, get some chatter.
And have some fun with us today. We're planning on doing it, and you are more than welcome to join the party. That one off the stick, coming through. It's Valentini, but able to run it down. And there's the shot, a little bit of a changeup coming off the turf, and the first goal of the day. That one coming from Alec
North Dakota
Larson,
State goal scored by number 13,
junior out of Lakeville,
Alec
Minnesota.
Larson.
And we have our first goal of the day.
Time to go 12:53 in the first
awesome
quarter.
Start if you're North Dakota State, exactly what you're looking for. Eric Larson, nice move. He changes the plane of his shot. Look at that nice overhand shot, nice bouncer. Turn and rake, Mr. Goaltender. We got our first goal in this game.
And that pushes Larson to 10 goals on the season, getting to double digits for the junior midfielder. And both these teams have a number of capable face-off athletes. This one going the Bison's way as they've got numbers. And there's a skip pass just behind his man, and that one's going to go out of bounds. Couldn't quite find the cross of the streaking Brandon Wirtz there. But again, sometimes you get the face-off guy, Normandin, have a little trouble with his stick. A little bit of sloppy play coming out here early.
Yeah, a little sloppy. Let's go over to E.J. Freeman down on the sideline. E.J., just talk a little bit about you. Were able to watch North Dakota State get warmed up. What do you think about the energy and effort that we're going to see out there
well, the
from
energy
the Bison?
from North Dakota State is through the roof right now. They're very excited. They've already turned over Minnesota Duluth 3 times on clearing it with their 10-man ride, which they're known for. They run it pretty much all the time. It's been really impressive, and the energy for them right now is sky high. Back to you guys.
Thanks, EJ. EJ, of course, roams the sideline alongside Ken Lovick for Georgia Tech. 9 seasons down there. Been a very, very good team the last several years. A couple trips to the semifinals themselves. High pressure from Duluth. So we see our second look at the offense from the Bison.
Coach Lovick, also the president of the MCLA. You know, this is a first-class operation. This has been one heck of a lacrosse tournament. Started out this week on Monday with 32 teams, and we're starting to narrow it down to the top teams in both Division I and Division II.
And that's just a defensive breakdown as Duluth able to take advantage. Tremonte, the attackman, the senior, great heads-up play. That's high lacrosse IQ as they were able to take advantage of the number situation. The Bison just were not ready on the defensive side.
They were not ready. You're exactly right. Got caught in that little helter-skelter situation, and
Minnesota Duluth goal scored by number 11, Brian Tremonti. Assisted by number 23, Scott McNamara. Tremonti from McNamara. Time of the goal, 11:35 in the first quarter.
The offset being a good feeder, and he was listening.
He's an awesome player, 2-time conference player of the year. Just a junior rather. And he's going to do big things during his career. Already doing big things, but you'll see it continue.
Yeah, pushed his point total to 96 on the season. That's his 43rd apple.
43rd apple on the year, huh? So that's awesome balance, and that's what you look for out of your best players, guys that can score goals and guys that are also unselfish and great feeders of the ball. The top players that you see play the game, usually their point production is pretty similar, 50-50 to with their goals and assists.
Yeah, 53 and 43 for McNamara, so well balanced. Ball goes down to who's going to come up with it, and then kicked it right to Tremonte. McNamara works from up top. Nice look in traffic. That one deked out. So he's going to come up with it. Looks like it's going to be another ground ball for Duluth.
It was a really nice look there by McNamara. He's the type of player that's always got his head up. Like I said, I've been able to see him play a couple times this week, and every time the ball is in his stick, he's got his head up, ready to make a play.
And that one looks like it's to the shoulder. There comes the flag down, and great hustle play there by Bannock as he's able to get the ground ball once again after drawing the penalty. Quick movement and a goal. The Bison feeling themselves right now as they find the back of the net. The threes on the end of that one, Brandon Wirtz. And we talked in the early game about moving the ball quickly.
By number 33.
See the Bison on the sideline fired up.
Assisted by number 6, Noah Simpson.
These celebrations are so awesome for the game of lacrosse. I love it. Great camera work there by our team going over there and catching the celly. But an even better shot right there. A nice low to high ripper by the threes. Top right corner. Great placement. Big time goal.
Got a number of tweets coming in here as another procedure call going against Duluth. Got one coming in from Michael Brand. Wanted to know what Ryan thinks about the schools competing, which one he would go to, given the opportunity. You know,
Michael Brand is chiming in, huh?
Chiming in.
Is he coming to us from San Antonio, Texas?
San Antonio.
He's on the Mount Rushmore of San Antonio lacrosse.
Heard it here first.
Mike Brand. He did everything he could to move out of Buffalo, New York, and get to that warm weather.
Certainly can understand that. You know, I think I'll make this one easy on Ryan, and Chapman is the obvious choice. You know, get out there at Newport Beach, strong program. I know Mikey Powell enjoys the beach.
Hey, you know, I don't know. I'm becoming a fan of Michigan State with the way that they play. They're a bunch of tough kids, and I'm not saying I like all these teams, but it's going to be exciting to watch some of these Division I games coming up this afternoon. But first things first, we got ourselves one heck of a ball game right here, right now. You can tell these are two well-coached teams, two evenly matched teams, and I would not be surprised if we see a one-goal game when this thing shakes out.
Yeah, a lot of intensity in this one. Seems to be a higher level of intensity than we saw in the first game, at least from both sides. St. Thomas was ready to play. There was a nice look up top, unable to bring it in. There's a nice little deke move. Again, Wirtz. Been calling his number a lot. And then the finish inside for the Bison. That one coming out of the cross of Simon Hatlin. And the Bison pushed their lead to 2 at 3-1 early in this one.
Too many times you get caught up watching lacrosse and seeing the guy score the goal, and you want to give him all the credit. The hustle and effort by Wirtz. They're number 33 out of North Dakota State. He was able to score a goal earlier, but just a nice play there with a little goosey on the ground ball. Then it ends up with number 9, Simon Helton, that finds the back of the net. But team effort is super important in order to experience success in this game. And 33, just an amazing ground ball goosey play by Brandon Wirtz.
And then, like you said, you saw Hatlin up there flash his stick once he got open, and good vision from Ryan Stover to get the ball to him. And just stick it where the goalie's not.
We're going to have a slash coming up on 28, Jack Dietz.
A lot of room there in the middle, and there, once again, defensive breakdown allows Matthew Hockert, the sophomore out of Circle Pines, to get his first of the day.
Great placement on the shot by Hockert, left-handed. Looked like he went off stick side. I'd like to see it again. We're going to cue it up and got it coming right now. But you see this nice left-handed shot, and he goes.
Duluth goes number 19,
stick side.
Hockert.
Stick
Hockert
side.
unassisted. North Dakota State penalty, number 28, Jack Dietz.
Defensive breakdown there.
1 minute for slashing, time of the call, and goal, 7:41.
On the defensive side.
Release at 6:41.
And they're going to have to go out again after the goal without one of their poles. So we've got Jack Dietz taking a knee right in front of us. Nice play by Duluth, able to get this ball up. Don't have the numbers here.
That's probably the area that I would say that I've been the most impressed with so far watching Minnesota Duluth. Their ground balls out of the defensive zone are just awesome. They do great work down there. Their poles are very talented at picking up GBs.
That was Peterson on the shot. Got his man hung up here. It's Jared Johnson working from behind. Moves the ball up. And again, I'm not sure they realized they were man up after the goal.
10.
10 seconds left on this penalty. Send it up top. There's the shot. And that one picked up, coming the other direction. Orham able to do it, and they're going to kill this penalty.
Release.
North Dakota State at full strength.
See the wheels come out. Nice effort from Hayda. Seen a number of players on both sides of the field for both these teams. Again, you look at these sidelines, pretty healthy numbers.
Absolutely, healthy numbers, healthy program, great coaching staffs. Guys are fired up and into it. These guys get together in the fall. They make a lot of sacrifices as players. A lot of time. They even pay a lot of their own way to be a part of the club, and here they are on center stage in the semifinals.
Nice little stutter step move there, but right into the stick. That one coming down. It's Fleischman brings it across. A little two-man game, gets it. And that one finds the back of the net. The Bison to be in a little bit of a 10-man ride. Broken by the Bulldogs.
Well, I mean, that's the risk that you run. I've heard, you know, this is my first time seeing North Dakota State, but E.J. Freeman down on our sidelines was, you know, telling me that they go to the 10-man ride almost every single time. That time it cost them big time.
Number 13, Brenton Fleischman.
You know, that's the risk that you
Fleischman
run.
Unassisted, time to go 5:38 in the first quarter.
The opposing team can crack it. You're going to get a wide open dunk at the other end like we just saw.
And EJ, what have you been seeing from this Bison squad?
Well, guys, all three goals for Minnesota Duluth have come off failure to match up or getting broken in the 10-man. If I were coaching NDSU, I might call a timeout here just to regroup and figure out how we transition from our ride into our settled defense, because their settled defense has been pretty solid, it seems. But once, you know, it's that transition, that small window between the two when they've gotten into trouble so far. Back to you guys.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you haven't seen much from Duluth in the way of their settled offense. Been able to take advantage of the opportunities they've been given. Still plenty of time to play here. Knotted up at threes. Tori Olson tweeting in at us. Anoka alumni representing today. Great to see former players representing at nationals. So yeah, keep the conversation coming. Love to hear from you. That's C Marshall LSN. Thought about the shot there, and then too tall The attackman behind. It's Preston Olson. Couldn't grow and get that one. The ball down, good defense. Olson. Look across the field. See if Duluth is going to be able to bring it up here. Horace loses the handle, and that one's going to stay in bounds. Great effort, still there. Horace just kicks it up. See who's going to come up with it. And then loses the handle, and it's stuck in his stick. It's going to be a procedure call going against Duluth. And calling for the offsides, but by my count, 4 still for the Bison on the defensive side.
Yeah, my count was the same as yours, partner. They were back and they were fine. That's good officiating.
Duluth settled in a little more on the defensive side after giving up 3 quick ones at the beginning. Darby Sorensen likes his matchup. Eric Larson has one on the day already. All the way across. Shot from outside. That one's 16. Looks like it might have hit somebody. But no problem for Nastrom. Blake Nastrom been pretty solid so far. And again, nearly another opportunity for a cheap one. See the Bison get it back on to the offensive side here, and they're able to. Nice shot by Olson coming up and getting the ball, bailing his pole out. But it might be time to try something different on the ride there.
Yeah, I would think that's a very high risk to be doing that at this stage of the game, and that seems to be the only way that Minnesota Duluth can score right now, is when they're North Dakota State is yanking their goaltender out of there and going into a 10-man ride. I mean, there's a certain time that you got to drop back in and get him back in the cage.
Another low to high look from Normandin. Another one of these guys who takes a lot of the draws and stays back on the offensive side. Got Johnny Vegas tuning in from all the way out in California. Nice to hear from him.
He's got to get in the weight room. Have you seen that guy, Johnny Vegas? He's got to get himself in the weight room, man.
He's out there, effort player. That one out. Bison not coming away with that first one. Let's see if Duluth can get away. And that ball finally out. The Bison come up with it. Watch out, here comes Numbers. Great look, that one just off the mark, a little too tall for Kivley coming through. Both these teams struggling in the unsettled defensively.
They are, and it's been a little bit sloppy in between the lines too, and that's credit to both the defenses and the way that they're playing. It's very aggressive, putting pressure on the offense to make decisions right away and make the right decision.
It's McNamara. It's a great job of keeping his head up.
Yeah, I really like 23 in McNamara's game.
1 minute remaining in the
always
first.
got his head up. He's always doing a good job protecting his stick. I think I've seen him get the ball taken away from him only one time in this, the third game that I've seen him play. So very good with the ball and an awesome feeder.
That one a little too tall. Another errant pass, costing a possession to Minnesota Duluth. Got a tweet coming in here from Scott Waddell, watching the tournament from the UK. Wanted to know some of the players to watch, maybe in some of the afternoon games. We can tell you, for one, Dylan Garner is a guy to keep your eye on for Chapman, former National Player of the Year. guy that stirs the pot for the Panthers. It's going to be an interesting matchup against South Carolina coming up in our next game.
Yep, number 7 Garner for Chapman. He's a player that plays at the next level. He's from the Oregon Episcopal School up in Portland, Oregon, and very well coached. He had an unbelievable high school career playing for Coach Dennis Sullivan up there. So he's having a great career at Chapman, and expect big things from him this afternoon.
And that one's not going to count. Takes that one off the board just after the whistle. But after 1 quarter of action here, we got a barn burner. Don't go anywhere. 3-3, Duluth and North Dakota State. We'll be right back after the break.
I'm Eric Law. I went to the University of Denver, and I played professional lacrosse for the Denver Outlaws. This is the UA Command 2.0. I really like the new design of the thinner scoop at the top to help with ground balls, and the same thing in the back with the flare to help with ground balls as well. The pocket, it forms just a nice, easy pocket right in the middle. I also love how light it is. We've been in the sun all day. It still doesn't get that soupy, bendy feeling. Also, what I really like the new addition of is the side rail pockets for the shooters, which doesn't go right in there, which I think is a brilliant design.
And welcome back to the MCLA Championship Tournament. We're here in the semifinals, powered by Under Armour. We are at the beautiful Regional Athletic Complex in Salt Lake City, Utah. Chris Marshall, Ryan Powell with you, EJ Freeman as well. Roaming the sideline. I know EJ was just in that huddle. What do you got for us?
Well, the big message for the Bulldogs was to calm down in the clear, slow down. They're playing a little bit too helter-skelter. Just relax a little bit in the clearing game, keep your head up as you're going, and find that open man. Right now they think North Dakota State's speeding them up just a little bit too much. Back to you guys.
Thanks, EJ.
Well, that is, you know, Chris, I was just going to say, that is the tendency. That's what that 10-man ride does. It makes you make decisions much quicker, and it forces some turnover. So great coaching there by Minnesota Duluth to address that situation, because you know, if they do take their time, they're still going to get those looks that they're getting.
And got some great tweets coming in here, so we'll get to as many of these as we can. So keep them coming at C. Marshall LSN. And of course, you can see the hashtag top left of your screen. And again, winning this one forward. And there's the low to high once again. That one might have cleared the net. Got a cameraman up there to be careful. But Normandin showing that he is not scared to let her rip. Primary face-off guy so far today, been winning them pretty well to himself forward. 7 Gs on the season coming into today. Had a great question come in about competition level between, you know, the MCLA and NCAA Division II and III. I know that Whittier on the schedule nearly every year for Chapman. It's been going Chapman's way mostly recently, so that's a indication Whittier a D3 tournament team in recent memory last season. So I'd say the top level of the MCLA Division I is pretty comparable with higher tier players at the Division III level. Not quite as much parity as we've seen in the Division III. A lot more teams, but see some of the top teams I think can definitely hang. Be interesting to see how Utah fares next season at the NCAA Division I level.
Yeah, absolutely. They got a good coaching staff over there, and they're really excited about making the step to go up to the Division I level. And I'm sure they're going to be starting, one of the lower level teams at D1, but Coach Holman and his staff will be working tirelessly to get their squad better as quickly as they possibly can. So very exciting for Salt Lake City to be fielding a Division I team in the Utah Utes.
Yeah, and another big hustle play to corral that ground ball from Brandon Wirtz. We've been calling his name a lot. And love to see that sort of effort. It's Olsen with it now. And there's the shot, high to low. Once again, Noah Simpson finding his way into the score sheet as he pushes the lead
North
to
Dakota
1.
State goal. Score by number 6, Noah Simpson.
Great shot by
Assisted
Simpson.
by number 4, Preston
Good
Olson.
offense by North Dakota State.
Simpson from Olson, top of the goal, 13-19 in the second quarter.
He's got time and room. Throws it through the wickets of the goaltender. It's a good shooter, that number 6, Noah Simpson.
Leading scorer coming in, most goals on the team. That puts him to 17 on the year. Good play by Preston Olson, recognizing the matchup as he had the shorty.
Yeah, it's really important to play smart out there, and you know, they had a great set right there and did all the right things, and when you do all the right things, it results in a goal. Success.
It's another good face-off win for the Bison. Just ducked right under that one. Alec Larson working from up top. Shorty appears to want him to go left. Larson working down. Simpson with the skip up to Wirtz, and then back around the horn. Larson getting a lot of attention on the defensive side. Spencer Marsh lost his footing there. Gonna get pushed. Can't hit them while they're down, Coach.
They got some good players here in North Dakota State on their offensive end. They're guys that can beat the short stick D middies. So keep an eye on that. You know, this is a good matchup right here to draw a little slide and then keep that ball hot. But you know, after the first 2 games of watching Minnesota Duluth's defense, they weren't really tested a whole lot. Well, they're certainly getting tested right now.
And there's the shovel shot coming back. That one just off the mark, but solid effort coming from Darby Sorensen. Simpson looking for help. Gets to Wirtz. That's Marsh. Looking for some space. A little bit of a numbers opportunity here for North Dakota if they can find it. It's a good recovery for Duluth. Way out on Larson here.
North Dakota State getting on some fresh midfielders. That's how long they've had it. And I think that they got to slap that shot clock on these boys here pretty soon.
They haven't had a real good opportunity to score a goal here yet on this possession. That one goosed out. Great ground ball. It's Nicholas Timmons. He sends it in, and they score another goal here again out of the unsettled situation. That's 4 goals coming out of that unsettled.
I don't really know what to say, to be honest with you. I'm not really sure how that's working.
Number 36, Nicholas Timmons.
Like I said, I didn't see North Dakota State
Timmons
play
unassisted, time of the goal, 10:46 in the second quarter.
I hadn't seen him play in the first 2 rounds because I was calling other games, but to do this 10-man ride and bring your goalie that far out of the cage and just leaving a wide open shot for these players, it seems a little bit silly to me, but that's just one man's opinion.
Well, and that's why we bring you in, because we like hearing it, Ryan. What's your take, EJ? I know you've been out there on that side of the field watching this 10-man. It's time for a change?
Well, I watched North Dakota State in their first-round game a couple years ago, and it was similar in that they kept getting their 10-man ride broken, but they stayed with it. They believe in it. They have faith, and eventually they think it's going to wear teams down as they get tired. They're going to start making mistakes and things like that, and it's going to work out for them. But one thing Minnesota Duluth's doing really well, they have one of their attackmen really wide. He's almost touching me over here on the sideline, drawing that goalie out very far from the cage. There's no way he can get back quickly. Back to you.
I think they're going to have to start hoping that Minnesota gets tired of scoring goals.
Yeah, the furthest, you know, if they're going to do that 10-man ride, they got to leave open the guy that's furthest away from where the ball is, and that goaltender has to stay closer to the cage so he can recover if someone's taking a shot from outside the box.
Some time in the middle, gets to Wirtz, and can't quite find his man. Gets in the crease there, and they're going to get an opportunity here at the free possession. Get a look at their extra man unit. A couple more tweets coming in across the pond, answering the earlier question. Dylan Garner and Wiley Bonham on Chapman, both are nasty. 70 points each, nearly 100.
Duluth penalty, number 11, Brian Tremonti, 1 minute for slashing. Time of the penalty, 9:37.
Another former MCLA player, goalie for Concordia, actually drafted by Atlanta in the supplemental this past season. So he's tuning in as well. So thanks, guys. Keep those tweets coming.
That's pretty cool that he's getting some love out of the MCLA and getting his ticket to Major League Lacrosse. Who's who? You know the MCLA lacrosse. Would you say that Connor Martin, Conbro Chill, is he probably the player that came out of the MCLA and experienced the most success at the professional level?
Probably. And there's a quick goal. That one, nice work, Zachary Wiegman, as
man up goal scored by number 3
for the Bison.
Zachary Wiegman.
I definitely think Connor is probably
assisted
the most
by number
successful.
16, Ryan Stover. Wiegman from Stover on the man up. Time of the goal, 9:07 of the second quarter.
Out of Colorado State, that had a really nice tenure as the head coach of Colorado State. But there's a few guys out there that have made some rosters. But I think Con is probably likely the most successful.
Great goal by North Dakota State. Just tic-tac-toe. It seems like I have a similar thing to say every time I see a goal like that. The ball moves faster than anything else out there on the field. And when you got an offensive unit that's not worried about cradling the ball, they just quickly move it on to the next guy, and it's tic-tac-toe like that. It really sets your team up for success and puts a ton of pressure on the Minnesota Duluth defense. So keep that ball hot.
There's a timeout for the Bison. The other guy that comes to mind is Bandits starting goalie Alex Bouquet, who played, I believe, at Davenport, MCLA 2. So he's a guy that's had some success as well. But you know, it's a good time for a timeout here from the Bison. We talked about them maybe working out some of the kinks that have been a problem for them.
Yeah, for sure. I think that you got to, you know, address that 10-man ride situation. It seems like those are the only time that Minnesota Duluth can throw that ball in the back of the net is when the goaltender's out of there. So it's that, and you know, their offense right now looks pretty good. We got ourselves a great lacrosse game happening right now. There's a lot of good athletes on both sides of the field here.
Yeah, and certainly this is about the time where we saw our last game start to get out of hand. So nice to see both of these teams playing at a high level again. Still pretty crazy to me to think that all 4 of these teams coming out of the same conference here playing for the semifinals. So at minimum, meeting number 2 for all these squads.
Yeah, it's a great sign, a sign of strength in that conference. Got 4 teams in the semifinals. Speaks volumes.
You got E.J. Freeman down there on the sideline. What do you got for us?
Well, guys, North Dakota did exactly what you guys wanted them to do. They're addressing the 10-man, but they're going in the opposite direction. They want to be more aggressive. They want to be more aggressive in the ball carrier's hands, but they need to communicate better on the back end and switch with the goalie, let the goalie play closer to the cage. That's their plan going forward, but generally being more aggressive in that 10-man ride. Back to you guys.
Well, there you have it, Ryan.
Yeah,
dig in your heels.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm not saying if it's something that you've done all year, you know, and you feel like you're experiencing success with it, then hey, you certainly got to stick with it. But I would be looking at it as a coach saying, hey, that's the only way that they've been able to score on us today is in those situations. They're not getting looks 6-on-6, you know, not great looks in the 6-on-6 situation, so don't make it easy on them in these transition opportunities. But hey, that's why I'm not coaching. I'm just up here giving you my opinion.
Nice defensive play there on the wrap check. This ball comes out. Duluth coming the other way. That one just staying in on the far sideline there. It's the near sideline for you watching at home. And that one just off the mark. We see the flag come out, and EJ wasn't kidding. More aggressive.
Minnesota, or North Dakota State, I think that's a penalty on their keeper. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was on a...
North Dakota State penalty number 50, Matt Lufkin, 1 minute for slashing.
As he's going to take a
Time
seat
of the penalty,
first time
8:03.
today.
He's going to come over and spend a minute over here in the sin bin.
Yeah, come hang out with us.
Come on over, buddy.
We're fun. We're having a good time.
Release at 7:03.
We see Duluth here with an opportunity to tie this game up. Just getting into their rhythm here. See if they can get the defense moving. Bison staying tight. There's the skip and the shot, and that one finds the back of the net through traffic. Nice finish for Scott McNamara as he adds another point to his tally.
Yeah, this is a really nice goal by McNamara. And what he's able to do is he hides the head of his stick down low behind his legs, and then he also had a couple of players there for North Dakota State that were standing in front of him, so it really set up the perfect screen opportunity. When he releases this shot, there's two North Dakota State standing in between that shot and his goaltender, making it hard for the tender to pick up on where that ball was, and where that ball was a perfectly placed shot down to the low 90 of the cage. McNamara can flat out play the game of lacrosse.
Yeah, it pushes him up to 97. You know, he'd love to get to that century mark. Certainly rare air for players to score that many points. A nice ground ball here by the Bison. Darby Sorensen been very active on the wing. Little gamesmanship there as you see the call here, and that's going to be a hold. And let's see which way it goes. So we see the official, and that's going to be an unnecessary roughness, 1 minute. I believe that he will serve the full minute on that one, but nice play there along the sideline, able to draw that penalty.
Yeah, it didn't really have anything to do with the play. You got to keep your composure in that situation. Everything is so important when you're on this stage in the semifinals, and that's a bad penalty.
Again, we've seen North Dakota have some success in their extra man, able to move the ball quickly. There's the skip pass, and what a finish up top. Once again, Noah Simpson, his second of the day, and he made that one look pretty easy.
North Dakota State goes the man up at number 6, Noah Simpson. His second.
Simpson, the leading point getter for the Bison coming into today. Great celly once again. It looks like all the players there having a good time.
This play is all set up by Simon Helton. Just great vision, nice skip pass, and Noah Simpson knows how to put the ball to the back of the net, and he sure did there.
Yeah, not a whole lot of help there for Nastrom in the cage. He makes that one, it's a special play. A little different look from the Bison here. Facing off, same result. It's Connor Varley won that one to himself. Bison having success winning the ball forward. North Dakota taking their time, getting their first line midfield back out on the field. Got an opportunity for some numbers here.
They got him. Oh, give it to him. Got to give him the ball right there.
Yeah, unable to find his guy. There's the shot. That one off the mark. Pulled it a little bit for Wirtz.
Oh, he pulled it for sure. Looked like your golf game, Chris.
More 10 towards the hook than the slice.
Rumor has it you play some Army golf. Left, 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 right, left.
Yeah, I'm have to go out to Top Golf maybe after the games tonight or tomorrow and work on that.
I heard they got a nice Top Golf here in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, not too far. Yeah, worth the trip. Travis Eldridge, a pretty good golfer though. Yeah, too bad he's not still here. Go out there and get some hacks in.
Man, I really like North Dakota State's offense. They got a bunch of different guys, you know, that they feel confident getting a step on their guy and getting to the cage.
And there's a great look across. Makes the extra pass. There's the shot, another finish. This one coming courtesy of Preston Olson, the freshman, 5'8", 155, but he's having a big game.
Keeping the ball hot. They're experiencing really good success when they do that. Number 9, Simon Halton, made the play start. Dylan Valentini. Number 22, a little shot fake, and then he drops it down to Preston Olson, who we've been calling out quite a bit. He's playing great down there at attack for North Dakota State.
Yeah, and this pushes the lead to 2. The largest is 3-1. So both these teams trading blows. A prize fight out there. Haymakers from everyone. And wow, can't draw it up better than that. And then can't handle the ball. Have to think there's probably a couple of guys who have spent some time on a hockey rink between these two teams. And finally deked out. Now coming across the field. Nice handle by Horace. And still in that 10-man. See if they send the goalie back. And they do. Bison with opportunity to number up here. And here's one coming from tweet coming in. Nothing better than watching lacrosse all day. And we're not even halfway home today.
Trudy Boo.
Trudy Boo.
We agree, brother. We agree with that.
It's a good one.
Call. Great lacrosse game we have to watch right now. You got to get the ball out here to McNamara, though. Get the ball over to 23. Let him go to work.
Yeah, he is an exciting player to watch.
North Dakota State in the zone here.
That's a tough pass. Goes out of bounds. And that one's going to go back to the Bison. It's a close call there. Nice play from Bannock. As he brings it up. Momentum feels squarely in the corner of the Bison right now.
Absolutely. These guys are playing really good lacrosse right now. They've cleaned it up, protecting the ball much better. Seems like every time they have the ball on the offensive end right now, they're producing a good shot.
And again, drawing the slide. Big time save. Duluth needed that one as Nastrom comes up with it.
What an awesome save by Nastrom. That's one of those ones that's a big time momentum killer there if they can find a way to go down here and score now. North Dakota State producing great shots, but Nastrom was just rock solid on that one.
Seem to be having a little bit more success, at least on the on the 10-man ride there. Able to get the goalie back in.
Yeah, one of the conversations there that EJ was talking about, the Minnesota Duluth coaches, they said they wanted to see a little bit more patience on the 10-man ride. I mean, that's good and bad, right? I mean, it's you're not going to be as aggressive trying to go and score when the goaltender's out, maybe a few less turnovers. But it kind of plays into the hands of North Dakota as well.
Yeah, and we're seeing both of these teams come out, obviously, just shy of 2 minutes left in the half. I mean, this is an opportunity where you can steal the momentum back if you're Minnesota Duluth.
Absolutely. I think that they're going to work on getting their top 6 offensive players. We'll hear from EJ here in a little bit. He's down in the huddle right now. We can see him. He's getting a little intel for us and see what they might be drawing up here with 1:59 on the clock.
Yeah, and you'd really love to get a goal here if you're Minnesota, and you have to think that they'd be going back to Scott McNamara, who has certainly been the class on the field today of any of the players that we've seen. So, EJ, what do you got for us?
Well, on the Duluth side, they're talking about running some more 2-man games against both the shorties, probably a double invert like we saw in the last game. But they also don't want to keep forcing skip passes. They want to go to more, move the ball to the swing man, let him make the pass. What I always tell our guys, swing for singles instead of swinging for home runs there. Back to you guys.
That's a good point. I mean, single gets you on base. Then you get your home run with a couple of guys running the bases with you. But we'll see who starts with it here. Looks like it's going to be McNamara.
Tell you what, if the whole coaching thing doesn't work out for Coach Freeman down there at Georgia Tech, he's got a future in front of him. Unbelievable reporting on the sidelines out of the coach from Georgia Tech. I love it. Spot on with all this stuff he's talking about.
Contract offers coming in on the Twitter already.
I appreciate it, guys. Hope to stay on the sideline a little longer, though.
Well, you could do both. We'll just get you a wireless mic for during the games. There's McNamara by his man. Loses his footing. Quick double by the Bison. See if they can come up with the ground ball. 45 can't hang on to it.
EJ, you could do that, couldn't you, buddy? You could, you're coaching. You tell your team what to do, and then you pick up the mic, and then you'll tell TV what's up.
Just a little multitasking. I guess I'm a Renaissance man, right?
Yeah, just come up with something and repeat.
Easy money.
No problem. No problem.
Nice slide coming through. That one finds the 5-hole. That is a big momentum goal. The sideline is fired up. We're trying to get fired up as Ryan Larson, the sophomore, getting his name in the score sheet.
Nice individual dodge from up top here. Speed dodge. Pretty explosive going down. A nice shot on the run.
And that's a big momentum goal. 67 seconds left in the half. Cuts the lead to 1. It's been all Bison up until this point, largely in the quarter. So this is a big face-off for both these squads. Again, we see Normandin taking the draw here for the Bison. He's got Sorensen all the way down here on the end. Sorensen's got a line on it. Ran right by it, though. And there we go. Get the timeout there as the officials give it to him. Heads up play there, Coach.
Absolutely heads up play. Like I've said before, it's so important to use your timeouts at good times. That's a very important role for the head coaches of all lacrosse teams, and that was the right timeout at the right time, and it gives Minnesota Duluth an opportunity to get their 6 top offensive players out there with 54 on the clock and try to burn a little clock. I'd like to engage or have them engage on the cage with about 15 seconds or left and make sure that ball doesn't make it down to North Dakota State's end again this half.
Yeah, we've seen some solid play out of the Duluth goalie as well. Nastrom coming up with some big saves. Take a little bit of the wind out of the sails for the Bison here at the end of the half. And another goal here would certainly be an exciting thing for Duluth. Starting to get some energy back on that side.
Absolutely.
Seemed like all the energy was living in the white jerseys there.
Yeah, the ball was down with North Dakota State quite a bit in the early part of this second quarter, but Duluth has put on a little rally, and to your point, like it started with the big save by Nastrom.
And got a bunch more tweets coming in. Jake Hubert from Tilt chiming in, saying go Bison. So he's enjoying the game. Go there and check out some of those sweet Tilt shirts that they've got. They're very cool.
Guys, look for the Bulldogs to hold it here until about 25 seconds left. They want to see if they can get 2 chances here if they don't get anything off the first look. They want to spin the ball around and find a shorty to go against.
Awesome. Thanks, EJ. And there's the look, and there's a big save. That one coming back the other way now. But once again, the goalie standing tall. It's Orem.
I don't know about that. You know, EJ cluing us in on the situation of trying to get 2 and go at 25. And that's the fear that you have right there, is trying to go with 25, and then you end up with the ball down in North Dakota State's end, although they were able to get a turnover and get it back down to their end. But a little bit riskier there with going with 25 and trying to get greedy in 2 opportunities rather than waiting for 10 or 15 seconds and just trying to get 1 good look.
Yeah, and dangerous play as the ball came right back down against the Bison after the goalie threw it away. But we're going to go into the half the same way, coming in at 7-6 in favor of North Dakota. This one's been a great game so far. I expect it to continue to be such. So don't go anywhere. We'll be with you right after the break.
I'm Greg Durenlian, known as Greg Beast. I played for the New York Lizards. I just retired from the MLL, and I face off for Team USA. An elite level face-off man looks for a couple different things. The first thing is the pinch points of the head, the flex points, how it wraps around the ball. The second thing you look for is the scoop. Is it rigid enough and can it help you get an extra couple ground balls? The third thing is you want durability. You don't want to have to go buy a new head every few games. So this head basically encompasses all 3 of those. The Face-Off Academy put Command X's heads and their prototypes through the grinder. They lasted throughout the entire grind. They flexed exactly how we wanted them to. So not only were they pliable, not only were they durable, but they were also used in a lot of different facets. So it came out with a pretty good rating. The UA Command X. Dive under, take over.
Founded in 2009, Lacrosse Talk Radio has the most live and up-to-date coverage of the fastest sport on 2 feet. Whether you're listening to one of our over 200 live youth, high school, collegiate, or professional game broadcasts, or our regional specialty shows, Lacrosse Talk Radio gives you access and insight to your favorite teams and players. Visit us at lacrossetalkradio.com for our broadcast schedules in the Rocky Mountain, Tri-State, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Lacrosse Talk Radio, the official voice of the MCLA.
Life is about moments. If you fight, I fight. If I fight, we fight.
You be there and watch what I do when the bell rings.
Do you have that real look in your eye that when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can ask yourself this question: did I give everything I got? Did I lay it all on the line? Or am I cheating myself?
What you say, Quaid? See ya!
Right at it. Oh! He's done it again!
So whatever you're gonna do, claim it. Leave your mark on this world.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland, College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. The shaft is the Meso, and obviously when you look at it, it's got a really sleek look to it. Black on black, it's pretty smooth. Feel it, it's not too rigid, got a little bit of a grit to it. It's very durable, but it's pretty light. It's got a little bit of a flex to it, so it puts a little bit more on your shot. UA Meso Composite, balanced, battle tested. My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland, College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. This is the Under Armour Banshee. It's the mid-level lacrosse cleat. What I like about it is it's got a low cleat feel, but with the protection of a mid to high cleat. I'm usually a guy who likes to protect my ankles, but I don't like to lose the mobility and feel like I'm wearing a heavy cleat. UA Banshee, untouchable, unstoppable.
I'm Eric Law. I went to the University of Denver, and I played professional lacrosse for the Denver Outlaws. This is the UA Command 2.0. I really like the new design of the thinner scoop at the top to help with ground balls, and the same thing in the back with the flare to help with ground balls as well. The pocket, it forms just a nice, easy pocket right in the middle. I also love how light it is. We've been in the sun all day. It still doesn't get that soupy, bendy feeling. Also, what I really like the new addition of is the side rail pockets for the shooters, which doesn't go right in there, which I think is a brilliant design.
And welcome back to the MCLA Championship Tournament. You're watching the semifinals powered by Under Armour at the beautiful Regional Athletic Conference in Salt Lake City, Utah. Chris Marshall, Ryan Powell, EJ Freeman with you. And one-goal game coming into the second half. The intensity has been high. The effort has been high. Both these teams looking good. This one's going to be a barn burner to the end, I think.
Yeah, this one's a fun lacrosse game that we have right now. Both teams playing at a really high level, deserve to be here in the semifinals for sure. You know, North Dakota State, I've been very impressed with their offensive firepower. Very balanced, seems like it can go to a lot of different guys. They got athletes that can engage on their defensemen, beat their defensemen, and draw a slide. So continue to keep an eye on that. And then, you know, on the Minnesota Duluth side of things, I'd like to see McNamara get a little bit more involved on the offensive end. If I'm their coach, I'm saying get that ball to number 23 almost every single time down and let him orchestrate the offense.
And there's a face-off win for Duluth. Bison having a strong day at the face-off X in the first half. But the first possession of the game in the second going the way of Duluth.
Nice ground ball there by the long stick midfielder, crashing in on the face-off. Michael Radecki.
McNamara coming from up top. And just settling in here after a couple of tough possessions right at the end of the half for Duluth. So they're getting their bearings a little bit. Now Hawker with the ball up top. And our first timer on of the day. It's something maybe we called for earlier in the day, but first time we've seen it. You like that call?
I do like it. You know, to your point, Chris, a little bit uncommon to see it out there. I mean, they slapped that one on a little bit quicker than others here today. So I would like them to stay consistent now and start slapping it on quicker. I'm all for a faster paced lacrosse game.
An interference call, giving a free clear to the Bison. So they get their first line midfield out there once again. Nearly got away from Simpson there. Able to corral it. They send the ball back up top. Hatlin with it now. Simpson rolling away from pressure. And they're going to get a push call there going against Minnesota. That one, Wirt's going to bring it in. Sends it to Simpson. Back over to Olsen. Olsen has been pretty explosive today. And that's going to be a interference call. They're able to move it forward. McNamara gets it in his stick as he waits for the personnel group to get on. Numbers opportunity for Duluth that they can take advantage. Looked like McNamara was able to see it. All the way across. There's the shot. That one into the stick of the defender, but picked up right away. Another big save right on the doorstep for Orem. He has started out pretty hot in the third quarter. Hayden moves it to Simpson. Hear the possession call coming from the sideline. Bison maybe want to take a little bit of the air out.
Guys, those last couple shots from Duluth, the players have been fading behind the goal, and both times they don't have much angle. It's a pretty easy save for the goalie. I'd love to see them step up field and increase their angle before shooting that shot.
It's a great point, EJ. Again, making things easier on the goalie for the Bison. Take that championship step. Nice little dodge inside, and what a finish as Normandin gets his name in the scorebook. Nice finish from the senior out of Hopkins, Minnesota.
That was an awesome move right there. Great energy out of number 5. Avery Normandin. Little stutter and go move. Goes through a couple guys and pulls it back for an awesome shot.
Well, shimmy shake.
Shimmy shake past the goaltender. North Dakota State looking sharp right now.
Yeah, Normandin taking a lot of the draws today, too. He's been spending a lot of time on the field. And that one forward. Takes the shot, and that one, no problem for Nastrom as he sends it back the other way.
You got to move that ball, though, Connor Varley. You got Noah Simpson on the back door wide open.
And there you see it. That's exactly what the Bison probably needed to do, is that one finds the back of the net. Jared Johnson, the sophomore, getting his name in the scorebook as well.
Yeah, nice finish down low. Finally, what you were just talking about, Coach Freeman, down on the sideline, getting out in front of the cage after you're catching the ball to increase your angle. You got to like that one a little bit more, huh, bud?
Absolutely. That one definitely brought a smile to my face.
This is why we're here, EJ. As long as you're smiling, we're all having fun. But keep those tweets coming. Love to hear from you guys at CMarshallLSN. Of course, you can see the hashtag up there in the corner, UMDVNDSU. And here's a face-off win forward. An opportunity to tie the game here. Johnson running away from it. Picked up by the goalie. Way to get away from pressure. Normandin now. He's got some time and space.
He's not going to get touched getting up the field right here. This kid's a straight-up athlete. Talking about the tweet. Oh, go ahead, EJ. All right. So what I was just about ready to say was you're talking about people tweeting in and stuff like that. We got some pretty good stats coming in right now. 25,000 people tuned in for the first game. We won't get these results, but spread the word. If you're at home watching this game, get some other monitors fired up and let people know that we got some good lacrosse going on right now. Lacrosse All-Stars doing an unbelievable job powering this thing. Prodigy.
Speaking of powering, Simon Hatlin stings the corner with that shot. Time, space, able to get it done. And the Sellies coming again. Appear to be
rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, you can't go rock there, man.
Oh, that's poor coaching. On the
You
rock, paper,
can't
scissors.
go rock. You know who did go rocket ship, though? That's Simon Halton with a cannon.
Impressive. There you go. Seems like this is the younger brothers get the short end in the goalie situation. I mean, you know a thing or two about that. Put the young one in there.
Oh
Take
yeah.
the shots.
He didn't end up staying in there, but certainly enough in the Powell backyard. He got voted to the cage almost every single time out there, my young brother Mike. Nothing like having brothers being out in the backyard playing this awesome sport that we have. Unbelievable memories.
Well, and you had some neighbors that ended up being pretty darn good players as well. Some of those 3-on-3 games in the backyard. Probably some all-time classics. But that's a big momentum save. Again, the 10-man doing its job there. Allen able to get it.
Risk reward on that 10-man ride. Right there, they got rewarded. Got the turnover, had their goaltender about 35 yards away from his cage.
Bison seemed to have really settled in here in the third quarter. The lead's still just 2. They're definitely feeling the momentum for the boys in white. I gotta say, some pretty aggressive flow coming out of the back of these helmets. These kids, you know, just growing their hair out.
No, we were talking about it. When you see them, when they take their helmets off, they got buzz cuts. Those are flow buckets, that they're buying. Combro Chill invented that.
The flow bucket. I remember the
flow bucket.
See if that one's going to stay in, and it is. Filthy 50, putting the hustle button. I mean, I'm not even mad. I'm impressed. Never be able to get my hair that long. Selfish. They should share.
Interesting to see Minnesota Duluth dropping back into this zone, making it really easy on North Dakota State just to swing that ball around.
Olsen looking for some help. Can't find his man. Handcuffed his teammate Simpson there a little bit. And again, goalie coming away with it on the 10-man. And it's interesting, you know, we talked with EJ a little bit during the halftime break. Surprising that Minnesota now, here in the second half, is struggling as much as they have been with the 10-man. Obviously, it's something that they've seen before. These teams playing in the same conference together.
Yeah, a couple bad passes coming up the field the last 2 times. They got to continue to break in and break out, just like they would if a defenseman was guarding them.
Another big save. Nastrom coming out of his crease. Duluth can get anything going here. Hockert able to find his man. And Joyce gets it to McNamara. Nice switch to get the pull on McNamara. Opportunity to shoot from outside. Crowhop. That one kicked out. Well, let's see what the call is here. There's going to be a push going against the Bison. Opportunity for numbers here. Unable to take advantage. McNamara back with it as they send it around. Treebold moves it. See if they're going to get the shot away. And that's a good lift. Changes the angle of the pass. Bison ball. Dangerous pass there. Wirtz loses the handle. It's like got confused with the lines there. I think that one's going to make its way out of bounds. Again, unforced errors. Seeing them rear their ugly heads once again in this game. Fewer in the second one than the first one, but
yeah, they've definitely cleaned things up. But the possession game is so important. There has been some examples of sloppy play out here at times.
After the missed opportunity there, McNamara going to bring it in. Sends it up top. Saw Larson score an ice goal earlier as he sends it back to the center. Hawkert. McNamara looking for some help. There's a good defensive play. Getting the stick in the passing lane. All right, 4-3. We see the turbo button. That's Shrout.
Evan Shrout's been playing one heck of a game. He's been tasked with covering Minnesota Duluth's top player. And
maybe one of the top players in all of Division II here. And just only one time we've seen the timer on. Going against Duluth. So we get inside of 3.5 minutes here in the third. Normandin coming downhill. Absorbs the pressure. Nice look inside. There's a shot. Big time save. It's Nastrom getting in the way.
Nastrom getting nasty.
Love it. We got a timeout coming from Coach Bosch on the Bison sideline.
North Dakota State calls timeout.
In the third, still a 2-goal lead, looking to push it to 3, which would have been the biggest of the day for the Bison. But both these teams settling in here a little bit in the back half of the third quarter.
Yeah, this turned out to be a really good lacrosse game to watch. An up and down pace. Been a little sloppy, as I alluded to at times. But you know, the passion and energy that both these teams are playing with is really great to see as a spectator and someone watching the game. And I'm sure the people that are watching the broadcast are loving this up and down action and high level of lacrosse being displayed out here. MCLA Championship semifinal game.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly the sort of intensity you expect to see in a game like this, with so much on the line. And these teams will be advancing, of course, to play St. Thomas, the team that won the first half of our semifinal action in a pretty convincing victory over Grand Valley. Minnesota Duluth actually handed St. Thomas its only loss of the season. So something to think about as we get towards the fourth quarter in this one. St. Thomas win by 4 over the Bison this year. So certainly some exciting times. But EJ, listening in on the huddle over for Duluth, what do you got for us?
The big thing in the Duluth huddle, they're going to continue running their zone defense, but what they're worried about is their short sticks are getting too extended off ball, and so they're leaving that opening where North Dakota State's getting their shots right now. And on field level, you can see there's a pretty big gap between where their long poles are and where the shorties are in the zone, and that's where North Dakota State's getting their shots right now. Minnesota believes if they can clean up that little gap, their goalie should eat up the shots and get possession back for them, and they should be able to push it upfield. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Sarah, EJ. And certainly a good point with this zone. I mean, you like them sticking with the zone here, Ryan?
I do. I wasn't thinking that a couple minutes ago, but I am liking what they're doing here because I feel like North Dakota State is at an advantage where they have 6 offensive guys that can all go by their defenseman, get a step on their D guy and generate some action on the offensive end. So You know, I think this is a kind of smart play to be in this zone defense right now.
Olsen turns the corner. We can't get that one off. Let's see if they get the backup. And they do. Close call there as the goalie came out. Nastrom trying to get it.
Guys, down here on field level, you can already see that they're closing that gap that the coaches were talking about during that timeout. So the coach is getting what he wants here on this one from his defense.
We got a question coming in on a potential goalie goal on a full one. That's from Heyo Joe 29. And you know, if the look is there, I don't hate that decision.
No, if the goal's open, it's not a bad thing to shoot it. Just got to get all your guys out there on the same page and be sure to react to the situation.
Oh wow, what a save by Nastrom. That was a good look. Across the field. Now numbers going to Looseway if they can come up with the ground ball. It's a big hit again. 43, been calling his number a ton. Shrout able to get things up. But can't finish the play as Wirtz loses the handle. Ball still down. So he's going to come up with it. And Duluth gets it. Back to Nastrom and then up the other side of the field. Here comes Olsen. A lot of Olsens and Larsons coming out of Minnesota.
This penalty is going to be a slash on 33, Brandon Wirtz. He's played one heck of a good game, but you got to be smarter in that situation. It's such a bad penalty to take a big swing like that when you're up by 2 goals, and it plays right into the hands of Minnesota Duluth. And allows them to get a man-up opportunity and potentially draw within 1 here. Not a good play.
Yeah, that was a good collapse there on McNamara to knock that ball out. But like you said, extra man. Got the players in there talking with Wirtz. Letting him
1 minute remaining in the third quarter.
Like to have all 6 of your defenders out there this time of the game. Let's see here if Duluth get one here. Getting their offense rotating pretty quickly for McNamara. Jared Johnson been sneaking up a little bit behind the goal.
That ball hit the ground, had some serious spin on it. That was crazy.
And what a pass up the field by Orem. 20 seconds left in this penalty. See if the Bison can run this one out. Dangerous pass, but handled nicely by Sorensen.
Just 10 seconds left on the clock here in this quarter. North Dakota State going to try to burn some more clock here. They'd love to have possession of it.
North Dakota State at full strength. And here's
Olsen as that ends the third quarter, but excellent penalty kill by the Bison there. And coming into the final frame, 15 minutes of lacrosse left to be played. Certainly not a lead that's safe at just 2 goals, 9-7 in favor of North Dakota State here in round 2 of the semifinal. A trip to the championship game where St. Thomas will be waiting on the line. And if you're this Duluth squad, I mean, what do you got to do here in Q4?
Well, we're going to see how long they can stick in this zone. You know, they got to start putting a little bit more pressure out on the ball carriers again. I know that they're a little bit nervous about that because of the ability of North Dakota State and the way that they can dodge and get space and create things and make it happen. But you know, you're now in a time that a little bit of pressure and trying to get that ball back and win the possession battle in this fourth quarter has got to be on their mind.
Yeah, certainly. And of course, like I mentioned, these teams have played before and pretty recently, in fact. This game, April 21, when these two teams met, it was a 12-9 victory for North Dakota. 2-goal deficit at this point, but let's see what EJ has to say.
Guys, I was in the North Dakota State huddle there. The big point of conversation was about the 10-man ride and their crash call once the ride does get broken. They think they're going to still have success with it. And then when they talked about shooting, they want everything to be to the back pipe or to miss cage. They don't want to give the goalie any easy saves here. You know, obviously they want to try to milk the clock a little bit here with this lead. And that's their goal going forward into the fourth quarter. Back to you guys.
Well, there you have it, Ryan. See if they can take this clock down to 0 maintain this lead. Again, Normandin winning it forward to himself. Can't come up with it, and they're going to get the push call here. Sorry, rather a hold. Duluth sideline pretty fired up about that one. Man. Official looked like he went for his flag there, didn't throw it. Bison just getting their personnel in, spinning the ball.
Minnesota Duluth is sticking in this zone. North Dakota State not going to be in too big of a hurry to do anything while they're in this zone. Just got to get good ball movement. Make sure your other 5 guys are moving without it.
Now, what do you think about the zone and then the timer on? I mean, do you think that gives them a few extra seconds in the offense if they're not playing man? If the defense isn't being aggressive?
I don't think that it should, but I think that it often will a little bit. It shows the officials that they're not in a big hurry to slap that shot clock on them, so we're not going to be either.
And it was a nice look inside, but Noah Simpson couldn't handle it. As Duluth able to come up with it. Tough pass by Nastrom, but an excellent ground ball coming through as Duluth and Mondo looking for a little bit of help. But the Bison able to get back in the cage. And great calls coming from the Bison sideline. All those players getting involved.
Yep, awesome to see a team working together. Coach calls out something, and all of his players echo the call so everybody on the field can hear what's going on. They've been doing that the whole game. Super important to have good communication, make sure everybody's on the same page.
A nice little hitch move, but that one hits the pipe.
Watch out. Play.
Here come the Bison. Wheels. That's Hayda as he sends it. Can't find worse as he gooses it to Simpson. Let's see if they can come up with it. And again, Hayda, the guy who brought it down, able to pick it up. Good pressure for Duluth, but better ground ball work out of the Bison.
Just so cool seeing these teams. They get so excited and understand the game so well. You know, the guy hasn't scored a goal all day, but just comes up with an unbelievable ground ball in his defensive end, and he clears it down to the offensive end, dishes it off to an attackman, and he comes off the field. Everybody on the team swarming him, high fives. They understand the importance of possessions and ground balls.
And that one just off the mark. And as a guy who didn't score many goals, it was always fun to get catch a high five for a tough ground ball. But certainly, of the teams we've seen have success today, that appears to be a contributing factor where you get all the team fired up on the sideline and excited for the guys out there playing hard. And definitely keep those tweets coming. Love hearing from you guys at home. Had some great questions coming our way. As many of them as we can. Go ahead and use the hashtag. And there we had this one coming back, another reply from HeyJoe29. Been practicing the full field shot. Just wait. So might be ready for this one. Haven't seen it yet. But thanks for those tweets. Keep them coming. 11-11, make a wish. That's the time we've got left in this one. I think if you're Duluth, the wish is for a couple of goals here. Hockert working from up top. Duluth having a little trouble stringing together some passes here. Hockert with it again. Now McNamara thinks about the shot. scored a goal from nearly that same location in the second quarter. And that's a good look. Nice recovery from Shrout. This one coming in from Periwinkle. Chad Hayda with some grit on those ground balls. Have to agree with you. He's been looking strong. And there's the flag down. And then kicked out of bounds by McNamara. Not a bad call there. No, the flag's coming down. If you pick up possession or kick it out, same result.
Yep.
Exactly 10 minutes to play. Got a push going against Duluth.
You got to believe that this is
Minnesota Duluth penalty number 5, Joshua Hutton. 30 seconds for pushing. Time of the penalty, 10 minutes.
For Minnesota Duluth, you'd hate to see this one be a swing and up 3 at this stage of the game. So Minnesota Duluth is going to need their best man down kill unit out there right now to get rid of this penalty and get the ball back in their offensive end. But you don't want North Dakota State scoring this one.
Just going to say the Bison been doing a pretty good job of moving the ball for the drop there. There's a shot from outside, right in Astrom's stick. And back to full strength.
Duluth at full strength.
Astrom's a good goalie. I mean, if you're Simon Halton, you got to get a better shot than that. You're going stick side on him, and you're 2 steps inside the restraining line. Too far out, not very well placed, and didn't have a whole heck of a lot of heat on it either.
What a play there. Able to sneak that one out. Here comes Olsen. Takes the shot, finds the back of the net. What a finish from the freshman. Young fella, get yours.
No doubt about it. This guy's having an awesome game. Preston Olsen, I've been saying his name quite a bit. He's got a big-time future ahead of him as a lacrosse player for North Dakota State, just a freshman. He comes down, he had a guy on the backside. He says, no way, baby, this one I'm going to take myself. And he goes with a nice overhand bullet past Nastrom for a big-time goal for North Dakota State.
Yeah, and that one all came back to that great hustle play we saw from Ryan Stover. One arm, that pickoff pass right here in the middle of the field, and then able to get it back going the other direction. So, I mean, we've seen those hustle plays really be the difference in this game. And then we saw that down Normandin grabbing his leg. Appears to be all right. With a little bit of a hitch in his step. See if he stays on. Olsen came back to get it again. Biggest lead of the day so far for the Bison. Another goal here, another quick one, might be a backbreaker. So getting their unit on, taking some time off the clock here. Alec Larson has the shorty directing traffic. Appear to have dropped out of the zone. Just hanging out up top here. We'll see when the officials decide they need to put this timer on. Larson turning the corner.
Yeah, you just see how North Dakota State, all 6 guys, as they swing this ball, they all play with confidence as they can go by their defensemen.
There's the jump shot. That one just off the mark from Larson, but trying his luck after he beats his first man. Quick restart for the Bison. Here comes Simpson. He's by his first man. Takes the shot. Another big save by Nastrom. Standing tall.
Got some numbers here if they run.
It's Radecki. Still plenty of time, 7 full minutes left on the clock. Need to see a little urgency maybe from Duluth here.
Yeah, it's getting to be that time right now. I think that you got McNamara out there, and I know that I've said it a few times in the game, but he's the reigning 2-time conference player of the year. He's probably the top guy playing right now, MCLA Division II. Great understanding of the game, and you got to find a way to get the ball on his stick more often, especially here in crunch time with 6:46 on the clock. Your best player has to get the ball, and things need to happen out of his stick.
And we'll find out here. We got EJ over there standing behind the Duluth huddle, so we'll get the update on that one. But when you look at this North Dakota team, I mean, what's impressed you the most about this Bison's game so far?
I think it's been a really good battle here. Guys playing with a lot of effort and energy. One thing that I've been a little bit surprised with is the zone play out of Minnesota Duluth. I watched their first 2 round games, and one of their strengths as a team was their aggressive nature out of their 3 long poles. They were getting after guys, but like I said, because North Dakota State has 6 guys now on the offensive end that can really protect the stick and make good decisions, it makes it a little bit tougher to be in that man-to-man and get stretched out and so aggressive. So it's been a great lacrosse game up to this point. And let's see if we can catch some fireworks coming down to the final whistle here.
Yeah, and we got takeaway check coming in with the tweet. 10-man ride working well against the fatigued Duluth team. But EJ, what do you got for us from the huddle?
Well, I was in the Duluth offensive huddle. They didn't have any sort of real set play coming out of this timeout. They want to get back to running their system, playing their game, quick dodges, quick ball movement. Right now they feel like they're jamming the ball into the crease too often when it's not open, and they just want to play their game, keep spinning the ball, find a good look, and go that way. Back to you guys.
Thanks, EJ. It's been tough to break through this zone defense for the Bison here in the second half. McNamara with it now, trying to get free. And that one out of the stick before the shot could come out. And there's good help defense. See who's going to come up with it. Olsen gets out of bounds, but good hustle play by Duluth. Able to force him out of bounds. Ryan Larson bringing it in. Again, the players not looking the ball into their sticks. A couple of bad giveaways early in possessions for Duluth.
Absolutely. I haven't seen Duluth turn the ball over this much as they have here today. The semifinal game, you got to make sure you protect the ball. No sloppy turnovers, and they've certainly had their share of them today.
There's a nice double team. Create the turnover. See if they can come up with a ground ball. And again, what a hustle play. You got a broken shaft out on the field. As that one comes to the sideline. Official stop the play, gives the Bison an opportunity to get their players on. That's Hayda coming to the sideline. He took a big hit. His trainer's taking a look at him. And there's the push. And that one found the back of the net. How about that? The goalie threw it full field. It went right over the shoulder. Top shelf for that shot. Impressive. Fortunate not to get a delay of game there. But that would have really been something. See, somebody warned us earlier. But that's going to be a push going against Radecki. Be 30 seconds for the push. And no timer on during penalties, so we'll see what the Bison are going to do here. Have had pretty good success in their extra man. Larson and Simpson having a little tea party down there. Nice look inside, and that's just good offense. But Nastrom able to gobble that one up.
Great offense, better save by Nastrom. Now he's got to make a good play here, and they got to clear the ball and have a good offensive outcome on this possession right here. It's getting to be crunch time for Minnesota Duluth.
That was Larson with some really solid defense. And the officials give him the timeout there. That's it's a lucky break, I feel like, for the Duluth side of things. But you haven't seen really any extended possession for Duluth here in the fourth quarter. What do you do here, Ryan?
Well, I think that you got to start the ball with McNamara, and you got to get a little pick game going in the situation. That can often happen when you got your top offensive player. He gets the ball and then set picks for him. The guy that's guarding McNamara usually wants to stay with him. So sometimes you can get a little caught up where two guys are chasing the ball and it leaves one guy wide open. So they got to get going, though. They got to go to the cage here pretty soon. But like I've been saying, McNamara is your top player. The ball has to be in his stick on this possession right here.
Well, we'll hear from EJ here in a second. He was over there listening in on the huddle once again. So what do you got for us, EJ?
Once again, guys, they're just preaching, run their system, do what they do, and handle their sticks. Unfortunately, they've had some uncharacteristic stick mistakes here in the last couple minutes that have really let them down. They want to really focus on the stick work, get that dialed in, and then they think they can get a good look. They want to create an above 50% shot. So that's what they're looking for right now. They just want to spin the ball, hold the ball for a little, not hold the ball, but possess the ball, not give it away, and then get a good look out of it. Back to you guys.
Thanks, EJ. And you look, you'd almost hope to get at least something from the coach, maybe a different play, but sticking with what's been going for him so far.
Yeah, you got to have a couple of money plays that you can tap into for this point of the game when you really need a goal. We'll see if they can get one, but just the message of just sticking with what you're doing right now hasn't been working for them. They've been on 7 goals here for quite some time.
Right, and sometimes a set play like that can actually give your team a spark and get guys moving off ball, which they want to do more of, and that could help them there.
It's a great point. And you look at this up top, there's an opportunity, there's a shot, and a finish, and that is a big one from Chris Tyrvold as Duluth cuts the lead back to 2, and they needed that one dearly.
Tyrvold stepped into that one, got his body into that one, going towards the cage and ripped it. It's all set up by 23 McNamara. This great lacrosse IQ, unbelievable vision. He sees a little opening through the defense. Perfect pass, right on his stick. And a much needed goal for Minnesota Duluth. Anything can happen now.
Yeah, we're back to having a ball game. Another goal from North Dakota may have been too much, but now that the lead is 2 and they've got the ball, but some pushes coming through in that ground ball battle, but the officials letting them play. Both these teams physical out there on both ends of the field.
Again, right now, if you're Minnesota Duluth, get it back to 23 again. Let him go to work. Get him behind the cage. Set a pick for him. Let him go one-on-one on his guy.
And there's a big-time save. The shot gets turned away. And Orem gets the ball back. Now sends it up. Watch out. Numbers for the Bison if they can make it in. And there's a good trail check. Now you see Wirtz coming to the sideline shaking his hand. He'll get looked at. That'd be a big loss for this Bison team. And there's a great lift. Good individual defense. Excellent ground ball by Strauss. As the Bison then start to move it up again. Sorensen clearing it. And 2 minutes, 30 seconds, still 2-goal lead I think they want to take some of the time off the clock here. Hatlin, he's shown to be pretty athletic today. So they're shutting off adjacent, sending the double. Hatlin free. That one just misses the mark. Nastrom looked like he might have been back in position to make that save. Heads up play by Olsen backing that up. Another shot. That one off the mark.
Hey, who's coming? Who's coming?
And from Kivley. Here comes Simpson. And he takes the shot and finds the back of the net. Big heads-up play by Simpson as he's able to push the lead back to 3. And that puts the pressure squarely back on Duluth.
Always a risky situation once you get that goaltender out from between the pipes. It was a situation that Minnesota Duluth, you know, with this stage of the game and the score, you got to gamble and roll the dice a little bit. It's not a bad play on their part, but, you know, like I said, it's risky when that goaltender goes out. And, North Dakota State just took full advantage of that opportunity.
That one kicked out, comes up all Bison. Dangerous pass, but able to come away with it. And there's an offsides as the flag comes up. And that's worst case scenario if you're Duluth. And now we're going to see the extra man once again for 30 seconds. Probably hold for the rest of the game here. And that's just unlucky. Kid trying to make a hustle play, loses his footing, slides across the midline as 11 makes his way to the box. It's Brian Tremonte. He has a goal on the day. Final 82 seconds here. It was looking like it's going to go the Bison's way. And tough to create a lot of pressure when you're down a man. 10 seconds left in the penalty. Again, cannot put the timer on
5, 4,
while the team is man up.
2, 1, release!
Back to even strength, immediately going to double is Joyce. Nastrup trying to get the ball free. And the heads-up play sending it up. And Bison going to call timeout here with 39 seconds to go. You like that timeout?
I do like it a lot, yep. And you get ready to set up a play. Let's get EJ in that huddle to find out what coach is going to do here. You know that Minnesota Duluth is going to double the ball right out of the opening whistle. They'll have their goaltender guarding somebody, and it'll be man-to-man everywhere else, but the goalie will be out guarding somebody, and they should put 2 long poles on the ball.
And obviously this Bison team has shown that they have some pretty capable ball handlers. I mean, Simpson, Olsen, both guys that seem like they can get away from pressure. We've also seen Larson as well as Hatlin run away from their guys. It'll be interesting to see who they give the ball to here to start this play.
Yeah, we'll see. You know, I think that these guys got a lot of kids that can play on the offensive end. Very cool to see. My first time watching them. But I've been really impressed, you know, for the almost 4 quarters that we've been able to witness them playing offense. To your point, what you were just saying, they got a lot of different guys that are really good athletes that can create a little havoc on the defense.
And Darby Sorensen going to be the guy here. But what'd you hear in there, EJ?
Guys, they put in 3 fresh midfielders to get some fresh legs, and they really want to beat the double here with their legs, and that was the plan the whole time. Back to you guys.
There's a great wrap check. Now things coming the other way. I mean, 3 goals in 30 seconds isn't unheard of, but you're going to need to finish that one first.
Yeah, Minnesota Duluth has really had a lot of sloppy play on the offensive end, and that's what they're going to be thinking about on their way back to Minnesota Duluth. And opportunity to come in next year and get better as a team, but way too many drops of the ball on a lot of different areas of the field, from the clearing game to the offensive end. It was a little bit sloppy.
And there's a shot at the end, but Nastrom isn't going to let that one go. But there you have it, the 3-goal victory for North Dakota State over Minnesota Duluth. They are on their way to the championship game. And look at how fired up these guys are from the Bison. Yeah, and I think EJ going to get over there and see if he can get a hold of Coach Bosch over there to talk about what this victory means for this North Dakota squad. But really strong second half of action for North Dakota State.
Yeah, they played really good. They really cleaned it up. They were a little bit sloppy in the early going, but as they got settled in, their output of production got stronger and stronger as the game went on. They cleaned up that turnover game, and like we've talked about so much already, they got a high-powered offense with a lot of different athletes that can create situations for their team on the offensive end.
Well, and this is a North Dakota State team that has been knocking on the door the last several seasons. They put together some really strong teams, some really strong regular season runs, but this is their first ever trip to the championship game. So an exciting time to be with the Bison, but you know, these hands out here, got the sportsmanship component here. All the players out there shaking hands, and EJ coming back over here. But any final thoughts on the game before we wrap things up here, Ryan?
I think you know, let's just give a nice shout out to Minnesota Duluth. A couple good wins here, MCLA championship week. Their squad played really good. I was able to watch them a few times. My third game watching them. I thought their defense played really solid in this tournament. McNamara, very impressed with his ability to play the game. And, you know, I said all I wanted to say about North Dakota State. They're a well-oiled machine that's going to be a great matchup in the championship on Saturday against St. Thomas. So I'm looking forward to that. And a great game that we got to witness here today, and great effort and determination out of both these clubs.
Well, and you look at this Duluth squad, and they've got an awful lot of talent coming back this season, or next season as well. Scott McNamara Jr., Jared Johnson, Ethan Peterson, the two second guys on the scoring, all coming back, both those guys sophomores. So they've got an awful lot of talent on this team. Nastrom also a sophomore, so they've got plenty of talent. I think we're just waiting for Coach Bosch to get over to EJ, waiting at the end of the handshake line. So another couple of seconds before we send it down to them. But certainly an exciting matchup coming up in the championship game. Like I said, these teams have seen each other before. April the 8th, Sunday 11 o'clock a.m. start, early game at St. Thomas. But the Tommies got the better of the Bison in that one, 12-8. So certainly should be another exciting game as the St. Thomas Tommies go to their 8th title game. The coach is chatting it up there in the center of the field. So we're waiting for the Bison coach over there to talk to EJ. But send it over to EJ now, who's with Coach Bosch on his way to the title game for the first time ever.
All right. Congratulations on the big win today.
Thank you.
So what was the 10-man seemed to sort of give both teams benefits early in the game. Yet you guys stuck. What was how'd you guys keep the faith to stick with it?
Well, in my point of view, I feel the only person who's going to benefit in the first half was UMD. They scored a lot of goals in empty nets, and you know, we've kind of rolled with that ride the whole entire year. And went in at halftime and asked the guys what they thought, and they said they'll just do better at the little things that we were messing up on. And we said, all right, as coaches, we'll stick with it. You guys want to do it, we'll live and die with you guys. So
good. You know, it seemed to work out for you guys as the game wore on. You must be pleased with that. What's the plan, you know, for going up against St. Thomas again?
You know, St. Thomas is another team that we're very familiar with. It'll be the third time we played them all year this year. Our guys got to understand that we just got to do little things correctly in the game, and we'll be just fine. I guess at this point, it's going and recovering and getting rested as best we can. So,
okay, thanks, Coach. Congratulations. Good luck. Back, guys.
Thanks, CJ. And as we wrap up the semifinal action at the Division II level, you see the score there. NDSU on their way to the title game for the first time ever. They will face St. Thomas on Saturday. You'll be able to watch that one with us as well. But for EJ Freeman, I'm Chris Marshall alongside Ryan Powell, and we'll see you for the D1 semifinals coming your way in just a little bit.
I'm Greg Gurenlian, known as Greg Beast. I played for the New York Lizards. I just retired from the MLL, and I face off for Team USA. An elite level face-off man looks for a couple different things. First thing is the pinch points of the head, the flex points, how it wraps around the ball. The second thing you look for is the scoop. Is it rigid enough and can it help you get an extra couple ground balls? The third thing is you want durability. You don't want to have to go buy a new head every few games, so this head basically encompasses all three of those. The Face-Off Academy put Commandex's heads and their prototypes through the grinder. They lasted throughout the entire grind. They flexed exactly how we wanted them to. So not only were they pliable, not only were they durable, but they were also used in a lot of different facets. So it came out with a pretty good rating. The UA Commandex. Dive under, take over.
Founded in 2009, Lacrosse Talk Radio has the most live and up-to-date coverage of the fastest sport on 2 feet. Whether you're listening to one of our over 200 live youth, high school, collegiate, or professional game broadcasts, or our regional specialty shows, Lacrosse Talk Radio gives you access and insight to your favorite teams and players. Visit us at lacrossetalkradio.com for our broadcast schedules in the Rocky Mountain, Tri-State, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Lacrosse Talk Radio, the official voice of the MCLA.
Life is about moments.